Have you ever added someone on your social media that you didn't know? Well, in today's speech, I will be talking about the dangers of adding people that you don't know in your social media. And I hope at the end of this speech, I can persuade you to understand those dangers and really focus on the education that our schools should be giving our kids. There are many child predators out there waiting to act. Many of those times, they're waiting to act against our kids. If you have kids, definitely take into consideration that it is one of the easiest ways to get to them. Does your child, your sibling, maybe a family member, do they know who they're talking to? Have you ever asked them who they're talking to? Many of the times we don't ask. Many of the times we don't even care to really see who our kids or our friends or maybe our siblings are talking to, because it's social media. What can it do? But I believe that school should teach us a lot about social media and the use and its dangers that it brings. Is it really being taught? It's not. So definitely it is something that I persuade schools, districts, and people that are in charge to really think about and bring into the curriculum. Being a mom of 3 young kids and one coming into the age where social media is just something that they want to do all the time, they want to play with their friends while doing video games, it is something that I think about on a daily basis. Who's really on that other side? And because of it, I would really want for the schools, for the school district to really think about implementing a class that shows our kids that social media is not safe. Our school should be required to teach that. Our school should take time to say, hey, you know what? Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, yes, it is fun, but at the same time, it's very dangerous. So with that said, I believe I'm capable to give you guys a speech and to really persuade you guys to think and act upon this matter. Cyberbullying, mental health, online predators are all examples of the dangers in social media. Have you thought about that? Have you ever put yourself in the shoes of a 17-year-old, a 15-year-old, talking to their friend and it's not really their friend? It's just someone that is taking place as their friend, and maybe it's somebody who is triple their age. It's something to really think about. In an article found in news.uga.edu, it stated that cyberbullying can take on many forms, including personal attacks, harassment, or discriminatory behavior, spreading defamatory information, misrepresenting oneself online, and spreading private information, social exclusion, and cyberstalking. What does this really mean? What does this really come to play? Have you ever thought about the consequences that come because of it? Death, suicide, all of that. Do you really want that number to grow just because the education is not really there? That is a very strong tool that should be implemented into our schools. There was another article that I found in childsafety.Los Angeles, simulawyer.pro, and it says, which is an information that was very, very strong for me to realize, that children between the ages of 12 and 15 are especially susceptible to being groomed and manipulated by adults. And this is because the people that they meet online, thinking again, like I said before, they're their friends. And according to the FBI, 50% of the victims that are online are being exploited sexually, and those are the people between 12 and 15. There is an interview on a first-hand person, Brianna Weiger, who is now 21 years old, and she gives us a clear example of how she was targeted by someone that she thought was a friend from school, but in reality, it was somebody who was actually grooming her. It was actually someone who was pretending to be her friend from school, would give her information. I saw you at school, you were wearing this, you were doing this, but it was actually someone who was stalking her because he found the immediate information. And now that she's older, she's trying to spread awareness. That is something that the school should do. In an article found on CNN.com, U.S. General Surgeon Vivek Murthy says that he recommended policymakers to push for digital and media literacy curriculum in schools. This will help all students recognize the dangers This will help the students recognize any red flags that they might encounter during this during times that they go into social media. And if schools dedicated that time for them, I'm pretty sure that the numbers of cyber stalking, mental health illness, because of all of this, would definitely lower down. Navigation and interaction that we might find with these young people might go down. And this is why I persuade all the school districts, I persuade people like you and I to push for people to implement this class in our curriculum. From cyberbullying to child predators to gaining education required to navigate social media. This is very, very important. This matter is something that schools should really focus on, and maybe people would be more informed and take wiser decisions. And because of it, education is key, and definitely that key should include that education on this matter. And for that, there was this last quote that I found by Christine Gregoire that states, "Education is the foundation upon which we build our future." So we should consider, especially living in an era where, yes, social media is definitely on its high domination, to educate our kids, to educate our students that it's not just about going on TikTok, going on YouTube, and really being part of the trend. It's more than that. It's being safe and not being the next person that is lost because of it. Thank you so much. Johnny, your thing.